Final up a weight now at 65 kilos. ALIYEV, Azerbaijan, will be in the red. The blue from Moldova with SACULTAN.
And SACULTAN maybe picked up one of the most impressive, although we're only in the first day, one of the most impressive victories of the tournament in taking out former world champion Beka Lomtadze 13-3, and that came in the quarterfinals. But Lomtadze, of course, up from 61 kilos, where he was the world champion, replacing Vladimir Kinchigashvili of Georgia, Olympic champion, former world and Olympic champion, who recently retired, is now mayor of a Georgian city. So he's moved on to politics outside of wrestling. But Beka Lomtadze trying to fill those big shoes.
It's always interesting to see how a wrestler is going to respond. A veteran like Lomtadze asked to bump up to a little bit of different weight. Sometimes it's easier. They're not cutting weight as much, but it is an adjustment. Here's a blast double, just taking him right out of bounds by SACULTAN, and he goes up 2-0.
And it's funny you mentioned the adjustment to 65 kilos. When you think about Haji ALIYEV and his run to that Olympic bronze medal in Tokyo, or excuse me, an Olympic bronze medal in Rio, he was down at 57, then of course moved up to 61 and defeated Gejimured Rashidov of the Russian Federation in the finals in Paris. But for him, the adjustment getting to 65 didn't just take 1 year. It took 3 years after that Paris win. And one of the guys who benefited from the Tokyo Olympic Games being postponed was Haji ALIYEV. He struggled in adjusting. This is going to be...
Yeah, that extra time really benefited him.
It did. It allowed him to get bigger. It allowed him to build strength, build confidence at the weight, because he didn't have it prior to 2021. He really struggled in making that adjustment. But you saw guys like... himself, also Logan Stieber, for example, for the United States, who bumped up to 65 kilos. It's a massive jump, and these guys are stronger, they're quicker, more powerful at 65, and you saw him lose to Takuto Otoguro in the Olympic finals, but to get there was something that a lot of people counted him out, and this is why he's back, is because he has more to prove.
Low strike again by ALIYEV. He was able to finish it a few moments ago. Has the left leg of SACULTAN up in the air. Little balancing act from Moldova into that outer edge area, and tumbling over the boards goes SACULTAN. And let's see if he is all right. They're going to get a step out point awarded to Azerbaijan and a 3-2 lead. And Maxime SACULTAN shaking his right arm, trying to loosen up the shoulder after going tumbling off the mat.
Took out the Taishan signage over there.
Flattened it. Good sportsmanship by ALIYEV, making sure his counterpart is okay. Now he comes in on a double. You see the hip action, but getting into that high C area. Still driving forward. You see the weight on the toes, everything going forward. And that should be 2, and it is confirmed. Textbook by ALIYEV.
And that was the difference. We saw at 57 kilos with Armenia, got his head stuck in the middle and gave up the exposure point. But what you saw there from ALIYEV, his head started off in the middle, but then he got his head to his outside and immediately worked up to his feet to try and finish that shot.
SACULTAN started with the opening 2, but 5 unanswered from the Rio Olympic bronze medalist back in 2016, ALIYEV. That was a special year for him. He was the flag bearer for the country that year in the ceremonies, the closing ceremonies in Rio. Always great when you see a wrestler get to carry the flag. The sport just loved on this continent. You go all across Europe, over 30 nations represented. 400 athletes competing for the right to be called a continental champion.
Hands down, one of my favorite tournaments of the year.
Budapest, such a wonderful city. We were both talking on the walk over. It's 70 degrees, just gorgeous weather, and so much to see around the city. Always a welcoming host.
And educated fans, if you look over to our right, it's just packed. So not only is it a great city for non-wrestling fans, but for wrestling fans as well.
Absolutely. It's going to get noisy throughout the course of the night, noisier as we hit Greco-Roman. Forehead to forehead, second period, second and final period underway. ALIYEV had the momentum closing out period one. Let's see what SACULTAN can do. He went in with a blast double. That was his first two shots. He secured the first one. Much better job from ALIYEV. He knew it was coming the second go around. Maxime SACULTAN, 15th at the World Championships a year ago. Just missed out on the Olympics. He placed 5th in Sofia. Again, ALIYEV in deep on a shot. And he'll get two more, and he's immediately into the leg lace territory, trying to get his proper adjustment. Look at the patience that he demonstrates. Not going to be able to get a turn, but lots of times you'll see a wrestler rush into it, maybe put themselves in danger. Not the case with ALIYEV.
He just understands the timing. You're right, he is so patient. But the one thing that's unique about him is his arms are so long. And you can have people watch Haji ALIYEV wrestle, but you can never mimic his style because he's not always in the best position when he gets to his shots, but his arm length allows him, his arm length and his strength allow him to pull in shots that normal wrestlers are unable to do.
Just see the sprawling back by ALIYEV. The double is not there for SACULTAN. He caught him in the opening moments of this match, but ALIYEV has made the necessary adjustments. He has found his offense in the meantime. Desperate attempt there by SACULTAN puts him in some danger. Coming around the back with the elevation. 4 more. And that is gonna be it.
5 asked for, 5 confirmed.
The Grand Amp, the maximum point move in wrestling, and it ends it early for ALIYEV.